Alright, what if Street Fighter's most iconic warrior stepped into the brutal world of Tekken? What if Sagat's infamous scar wasn't from Ryu, but from Kazuya Mishima? Today we dive into an alternative universe where the King of Muay Thai looks to become the King of Iron Fist Tournament. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning, Tekken 1, and let's take Sagat out of Street Fighter and place him here, without compromising his character and personality too much. He's still a Muay Thai legend, still a towering champion, but he's more gritty and way more grounded.
Your fists were mute. They had no soul. I was once empty like you.
So to start off, after Sagat had become a Muay Thai legend and had won many fighting competitions, he encounters a young Kazuya pre-Tekken tournament and loses brutally. Once again, the scar on his chest is not from a Shoryuken from Ryu, but a lightning uppercut from Kaz. Sagat barely survives, similar to his parallel in the Street Fighter existence. In breaking down his actual appearance, there really is no reason to change his look that much. Similar shorts, only a darker blue than normal, and his body is more riddled with far more scars. This is a Sagat that's been through a lot. Only now, unlike having served Shado in Street Fighter, he had a brief stint as a bodyguard working for the Mishima Zaibatsu. Of course, learning of the evil of Heihachi and not wanting to associate himself with it any longer, he leaves the Mishima Zaibatsu, hence the logo on his shorts that has now been crossed out in blood. Now his moveset would remain the same, only he wouldn't be as focused on anti-air attacks, it is Tekken after all, but instead attacks like his Tiger Shot would work closer to the equivalent of like Paul Phoenix's Burning Fist. Full-on projectiles would have been wild in Tekken in 1994. Outside of that, the Tiger Uppercut and the Tiger Knee and all of his normals from Street Fighter are all present here. Hopefully playing with Sagat in a Tekken game wouldn't be too much of a departure. Now to his lore. In this world, Sagat's rival Kazuya ended their first clash in blood. However, their rematch was almost postponed. Bruce Irvin, another Muay Thai expert. He defeats Bruce in the first Tekken tournament, whose combat views differ from his own, and starts a brand new rivalry for the Muay Thai god himself. He later loses again to Kazuya in the tournament, only fueling his desire for revenge even more as Kazuya falls deeper and deeper into darkness. By the second tournament, Sagat once again encounters Bruce. Neither man wanting to give up, they battle to a draw. At this point, Sagat gains a little bit more respect for Bruce, who also has respect for him. Sagat just wishes that Bruce didn't allow himself to become a pawn for Kazuya. Sagat's internal battle does not let his rivalry with Kazuya destroy his honor. At this point, he can kind of sense the devil within Kazuya without fully knowing exactly what it is, or having been shown it. The only person at this point who will have seen devil form Kazuya would be Heihachi. Now, Tekken 3 obviously has a 19-year time skip. At this point, Sagat is older and is training orphans in Thailand. He's matured and has found a new purpose in life. After learning of Kazuya's supposed death, gone are the days of his looking for a new challenge in a martial arts tournament. Not that it would have mattered anyways, an encounter with the ancient fighting god Ogre leaves Sagat injured enough to miss the third tournament had he chosen to participate anyways. Sagat survives and fares a lot better than most who encountered the monster before the third tournament. By Tekken 4, news of Kazuya's return brings him back into fighting, almost like traces of vengeance that he thought was completely gone had returned when he learned that Kazuya was still alive. He enters the tournament to again meet his rival, as well as to test the mettle of his son. In an encounter with Jin in the fourth tournament, Sagat warns him not to follow in his father's footsteps. Obviously, Sagat would also be defeated by Jin as well, though he doesn't harbor as much of a grudge against Jin as he did his father. Sagat finally meets Kazuya for the first time in years in Tekken 5, where he actually defeats his former rival. However, the emptiness he feels after avenging his loss forces him into dedicating his life to Muay Thai even further, reigniting his new purpose to dedicate himself to the younger generation of Muay Thai fighters. By Tekken 6 and 7, Sagat wants no part in any of the Mishima conflict. Of course, at this point, Jin has become a tyrant, and the world unknowingly looks at Kazuya as a beacon of hope, though Sagat has an inkling of the truth. He's a neutral party, not aligning himself with Kazuya or Heihachi in the events of Tekken 7. In between the two tournaments, or games rather, in his brief encounters with Jin, he continues to warn him about following down his family's war-torn path. He actually has a brief battle with Devil Jin and tests to see if any humanity remains inside the boy. This, along with the colossal battle with Fakumaran, who surprisingly isn't able to best the old veteran. By Tekken 8 and beyond, Sagat briefly lends a hand to Jin in his war against Kazuya and G-Corp. He sees Jin's path for redemption and wants to be able to aid him. He's more of a legendary relic in the series by this point and could be classified almost as Tekken's Goken, or maybe the new Wang. Going forward, who knows, maybe Sagat has a new protege, or maybe a new rival reignites the old fighting spirit and the flame within him. All in all, Tekken Sagat isn't just a fighter, but a symbol. He's a warrior who was once defined by vengeance and became defined by control. He is the calm in a world of greed and demons of which he learned to survive and hold his own. Somehow. Would you ever like to play with a Tekken Sagat? How good of a crossover would he even be in the series? And what other fighting game crossovers would make sense? In any event, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and you all have a good one, and I'm out.